Amid the grandeur of Athenian civilization, a voice rose, rejecting the ornate in favor of the simple, the genuine, the real. Today, we delve deep into the life and teachings of Antisthenes, the founder of Cynicism. Antisthenes was born in Athens around 445 BC, a time when the city-state was in its golden age, basking in the glow of its victory over the Persians, the construction of the Parthenon, and the intellectual ruminations of figures like Socrates, Plato, and later Aristotle. Antisthenes hailed from a modest background. He was the son of an Athenian mother and a Thracian father, a lineage that somewhat set him apart in the cosmopolitan fabric of Athens. He grew up in the shadows of the Peloponnesian War, a gruesome conflict between Athens and Sparta, which must have shaped his disdain for the opulence and the political scheming of the Athenian elite. Antisthenes was not merely an observer of his times, he was a participant in the Socratic dialogues, often playing an active role in the intellectual ferment of the age. His close association with Socrates deeply influenced his thoughts, but unlike Plato, who was also a student of Socrates and who later founded the Academy, Antisthenes remained a vocal critic of theoretical speculation and academic learning. Instead, he was drawn to the Athenian Nyx, where citizens assembled, and the Agora, Athens' bustling marketplace. It was here that Antisthenes laid the groundwork for Cynicism, often delivering lectures on virtue, ethics, and simplicity. His philosophy was as much a reaction to his times, a society deeply entrenched in superficial values, power struggles, and materialism, as it was an extension of Socratic teachings. In this turbulent yet intellectually rich setting, Antisthenes' emphasis on austere living, moral virtue, and authenticity made him both an outlier and an influential voice, setting the stage for the later development of Cynicism and its torchbearers like Diogenes and Crates. The teachings of Antisthenes, like those of many early philosophers, are primarily known through the accounts of others. Given that many of his writings haven't survived the ravages of time, yet from these fragments we can distill some core principles that underpin Cynic philosophy. At the heart of Antisthenes' philosophy was the assertion that virtue, or arete, is the highest good and it is sufficient for happiness. This is not virtue in a superficial societal sense, but a deep, internal moral excellence that stands independent of worldly possessions or social status. Antisthenes often emphasized living in accordance with nature, advocating for a life stripped of unnecessary luxuries and desires. This idea wasn't about impoverishment, but about recognizing the superficiality of material excess and choosing a life free from the shackles of societal expectations and unnecessary wants. One of the most potent teachings of Antisthenes was the call to live authentically. He believed that societal norms often push individuals into inauthentic lives, leading them away from their true nature. By advocating for self-sufficiency, he meant not just in a material sense, but also mentally and spiritually. He urged individuals to be mentally robust, unaffected by external judgments or the vicissitudes of life. Antisthenes was not just a proponent of individual virtue, but was also a fierce critic of the societal constructs of his time. He often critiqued the conventions, norms, and superficial values of Athenian society. For him, the city-states, with their obsession with power and luxury, were breeding grounds for vice. In line with his belief in authenticity, Antisthenes was known for his straightforward, often sharp manner of speaking. He believed that truth shouldn't be sugar-coated and that directness in communication was a path to real understanding. While Antisthenes was a thinker and a teacher, he believed in the primacy of action. He often suggested that it's not enough to know the right path, one must walk it. This is a significant deviation from some of the contemporaries who placed a higher value on theoretical knowledge. Antisthenes saw true freedom as an internal state. To him, a person could be in chains and still be free if their spirit and mind were unencumbered. This emphasis on inner freedom over external circumstances is a theme that will recur in many philosophical traditions, notably in Stoicism. Collectively, these concepts paint a picture of a philosophy deeply concerned with personal integrity, authenticity, and resilience, urging individuals to seek a life of virtue and simplicity amidst the complexities of societal constructs. Antisthenes' legacy is intertwined with the broader impact of Cynicism on Western thought. While not as well known as other philosophical traditions, Cynicism left an indelible mark on the annals of philosophy and laid down principles that would resonate with, inspire, and influence subsequent philosophical movements. Antisthenes is largely regarded as the foundational figure of Cynicism. His student, Diogenes of Sinope, would go on to become the most famous proponent of Cynic ideas. Diogenes' colorful life and bold antics, which were rooted in Antisthenes' teachings, solidified Cynicism's place in the philosophical milieu of the time. The Stoics, notably Epictetus and Seneca, drew heavily from Cynic ideas. The Stoic emphasis on virtue, indifference to external circumstances, and living according to nature can be traced back to Antisthenes. In many ways, Stoicism can be seen as a more systematized and refined version of early Cynic thought. Antisthenes' critique of societal norms and conventions had a lasting impact. His emphasis on authenticity, disdain for false pretenses, and challenge to societal superficialities will be echoed by numerous philosophers and thinkers throughout history, from the Christian Desert Fathers to the existentialists. During the Renaissance, as scholars revisited ancient texts and ideas, Antisthenes' works and the broader Cynic tradition experienced a revival. Thinkers of the period were drawn to the Cynic emphasis on individualism and the courage to stand against societal norms. In modern times, Antisthenes' emphasis on simplicity, authenticity, and self-sufficiency has found resonance in various movements, from minimalism to certain strands of environmentalism. His ideas also find parallels in contemporary self-help philosophies that promote mental resilience and detachment from materialism. Antisthenes' unwavering emphasis on virtue as the highest good shaped a significant portion of ethical thought in the Western world. His ideas laid the groundwork for the virtue ethics tradition, where moral character and virtues take precedence over rules or consequences. In essence, while Antisthenes may not have achieved the fame of some of his contemporaries, his influence has been quietly profound. His teachings have permeated various facets of Western thought, challenging, inspiring, and providing an alternative perspective on what it means to lead a good life. Antisthenes' philosophical tenets, rooted deeply in the ethos of Cynicism, offer multiple pragmatic applications for the modern individual, especially for those seeking an authentic and simplified life. Number 1. Authentic living. In a world saturated with social media personas, curated realities, and societal pressures, Antisthenes' call for authenticity becomes more pertinent than ever. By emphasizing the importance of genuine existence and disdain for pretense, his philosophy urges individuals to shed facades and embrace their true selves. Number 2. Minimalist lifestyle. The modern minimalist movement, which champions owning fewer possessions and focusing on meaningful experiences, aligns well with Antisthenes' notions of simplicity and self-sufficiency. He believed that by freeing ourselves from the shackles of materialism, we can achieve genuine happiness and contentment. Number 3. Resilience and mental fortitude. Antisthenes' emphasis on mental toughness provides a roadmap for building resilience in the face of adversity. By focusing on what is within our control and letting go of externalities, one can cultivate a mental equilibrium that remains unaffected by the vicissitudes of life. Number 4. Ethical decision-making. At a time when moral dilemmas and gray areas seem more prevalent than ever, Antisthenes' focus on virtue as the singular path to happiness provides a clear compass. By prioritizing virtue and moral character above societal approval or material gain, individuals can navigate complex decisions with a clearer conscience. Number 5. Reevaluating success. In a society that often equates success with wealth, status, or popularity, Antisthenes' teachings urge a redefinition. Success, from a Cynic perspective, is a life lived in accordance with virtue and truth, irrespective of societal accolades. This can provide solace to those feeling pressured by conventional metrics of achievement. Number 6. Critical thinking. Antisthenes' skepticism of societal norms encourages a critical evaluation of accepted truths. In an age of information overload and widespread misinformation, this Cynic approach to questioning and testing accepted norms and beliefs is invaluable. Number 7. Environmental consciousness. While Antisthenes didn't directly address environmental concerns, his philosophy of living in accordance with nature and simplicity can be applied to modern sustainability efforts. Reducing consumption, focusing on essentials, and living in harmony with the environment echo the Cynic ethos. In essence, Antisthenes offers a time-tested philosophical guidebook for those weary of societal complexities and superficialities. By embracing his teachings, modern individuals can find a clearer, more authentic path through the challenges of contemporary life. The principles and ideals of Antisthenes align with several core tenets of Nocturnity, and understanding this interplay deepens our appreciation of both philosophical realms. Number 1. Pursuit of authenticity. Just as Antisthenes encouraged genuine living free from societal facades, Nocturnity also champions the value of authenticity. For adherents of Nocturnity, there is an emphasis on genuine self-expression, an ethos shared by Antisthenes, who believed in living in alignment with one's true nature. Number 2. Valuing simplicity and depth. Antisthenes' call for a simplified existence, focusing on depth over breadth, mirrors Nocturnity's teachings, which emphasize deep introspection and understanding over superficial knowledge and experiences. This shared value forms a bridge between the ancient wisdom of Cynicism and the modern principles of Nocturnity. Number 3. Ethical grounding. Nocturnity is not just about introspection and self-improvement, but also about making ethical decisions that benefit the wider community. This aligns with Antisthenes' emphasis on virtue as the ultimate good. Both philosophies highlight that true contentment and happiness stem from a life lived ethically and in accordance with one's principles. Number 4. Resilience and fortitude. The independents within Nocturnity who prioritize self-protection and self-reliance can find inspiration in Antisthenes' teachings on mental toughness. His philosophy of facing adversity head-on and finding strength in challenges resonates deeply with this subgroup's emphasis on individual fortitude. Number 5. Critical examination. Antisthenes' propensity for questioning societal norms finds a parallel in Nocturnity's sages, who embark on a continual quest for knowledge and truth. This mutual emphasis on questioning, reevaluating, and seeking deeper understanding makes Antisthenes' teachings particularly relevant for this faction. Number 6. Holistic living. Antisthenes' call to live in accordance with nature can be related to Nocturnity's holistic approach to life, which considers all aspects of an individual's existence. The harmonizers in particular, who emphasize balance and connection, can find inspiration in Antisthenes' notions of harmonious living. In weaving the threads of Antisthenes' wisdom into the tapestry of Nocturnity, we find that his ancient teachings not only enrich but also reinforce the foundational pillars of this philosophy. It serves as a testament to the timeless relevance of Cynic thought and its ability to find resonance in modern constructs like Nocturnity. In the vast tapestry of philosophical thought, Antisthenes emerges as a beacon of authenticity and unyielding virtue. Through him, we journey into the world of ancient Greece, yet find reflections of our modern pursuits and dilemmas. His teachings challenge us to shed the superficial, to embrace simplicity, and to engage deeply with life's core questions. As we integrate his wisdom into Nocturnity, we discover an enriching harmony between ancient insight and contemporary philosophy. It's a compelling reminder that while times may change, the quest for genuine understanding and meaningful existence remains timeless. As we close this chapter, let Antisthenes' enduring voice inspire us to lead lives of virtue, authenticity, and profound introspection, lighting the way for our own philosophical odysseys. Until next time, may your journey through thought be ever enlightening.